Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. All right, so give me 2 seconds here because I know someone's going to call me, so I wanted to put it on Do Not Disturb. So today we're going to talk about being in a room with people that don't agree with you. So I was thinking about this yesterday, and why was I thinking about it? I was folding laundry. I don't remember how it came up, but I was thinking about how I enjoy being in a room with people that agree with me. But I learn the most when I'm in a room with people who don't agree with me on everything. And why is that so important? Well, because in this day and age, that sounded dumb to say it that way, but in today's world, there are a lot of people that really struggle being in a room with people who have differing views and opinions. And I can understand that. I get it. It can feel uncomfortable if there are people in the room who adamantly disagree with you about something. I get it. Here's the deal, though. I flipped this script on this, I really think, like, forever. I'm trying to think if there's ever been a situation where I've really struggled to put myself in a room with people I don't agree with. I don't think so. I've always been one of those people who's just naturally open and curious. I guess that's the little kid in me. I am incredibly curious as to someone else's view or perspective, why someone else believes the thing that they believe in, and why they believe in it so deeply. I'm always intrigued by that. Sometimes it's totally puzzling to me, right? Like, so for instance, this is going to be a good one. So for instance, my husband, I love him dearly, very much so. He is an avid football fan. And he loves to watch football. He loves watching University of Michigan play on Saturdays for college football. He loves watching the Detroit Lions play, even though they've never won anything, I don't think. Whatever, right? And loves to watch it. And so to this day, really, I have always struggled with understanding the draw to it, right? Now, there are times where it irritates the crap out of me and I let him know, okay? But to me, I don't get it, right? I don't get the whole my team lost or what time is your team playing this weekend, right? Like, I don't get it. There is no part of you as a fan that has anything to do with the outcome of that game in any way, shape, or form. So I've never understood it. And I've tried to. And I just think it's one of those things that I'm just probably not going to get on board with. But I can't even say I don't hate it, because I do really dislike football season just because it takes up so much time. Like, why do we have to have football or sports like 45 nights a week? Can we just have one, right? Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now, right? But nevertheless, right, like, I'm intrigued as to why this is so interesting to somebody else, right? Like, why is this a belief? Why does it come off as kind of a religion thing, right? And then there's other people who totally disagree with me on how children should be raised, right? Whether it's homeschooling, whether it's education, whether it's politics, whatever it is, I don't mind having those conversations with people because I never see it as a personal attack on me. And that is the biggest thing. Okay? So I don't mind being in a room with people that disagree with me because their opinion is not a personal attack on me. Ever, period, end of story, right? Their opinion, their belief system, their perspective is simply theirs. It's not something that needs to be shoved down my throat, and it's not something that needs to be right in order for mine to be wrong. Like, they can exist at the same time. And so I enjoy being in a room with people who have different views than me, who don't agree with me, because chances are I'm going to learn something at the bare minimum, and I love that, right? I shared on a previous episode that I had gone to a real estate seminar back in September, and I had to consciously choose to be open-minded because they were going to talk about money in a way that I was probably going to disagree with on some level, but there's clearly a way that money works that I was not using at that time. Since that seminar, it is amazing to me the way that money actually works. And the way that the wealthy people use money is very different than the way that I've been taught to use money, or the way that I've used money up until this point, right? And so I enjoy being in these rooms with people who have different opinions from me because it is not a personal attack on me. I am going to learn something. Now, there are times, social media, whatever it is, that I will unfriend somebody, I'll remove somebody from my feed, whatever it is, because it doesn't sit well with me the way that it's brought up, right? But you can have conversations and dialogue and rhetoric with people and not personally attack them. And when you can go into a conversation and say, okay, hey, like, what can I learn about this person? How does this person tick, right? Like, being curious about somebody else is so powerful for not just you, but for them too, because people want to be seen and heard and loved. And if you go into a room with people that disagree with you, and you can be curious in a kind, loving way about what it is, chances are you can probably bridge a gap between something. And not only that, but there are so many things that you probably have in common aside from this one thing that you're disagree with. That's a terrible word. Disagreeing on. That wasn't even a word, Steph. Right? And what was it? Oh, my best friend. I remember having this conversation with her a couple of years ago. I think it was during the COVID nonsense. I apologize for calling that nonsense. The COVID stuff. I don't even know what to call it anymore. Yeah, you've got me. Okay. Anyways, so we were talking about something, I don't know if it was like welfare state related or what, and her opinion on what people would do if they didn't have to work for their needs, kind of a socialist view, I mean, is what we were looking at. Neither one of us are socialist. But her thought was, well, people will just be lazy and entitled. And I thought, okay, I can see that, right? For sure. Because sometimes that is what happened. My view on it was rather, it gives people an opportunity to be way more creative when they're not in survival mode. And I didn't force it upon her. We just had a conversation about it. And I don't know if I changed her mind. I don't know if she even remembers that conversation, but quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me because it was an interesting take on both sides. And we both walked away still best friends, still loving each other, right? But it was nice to have a conversation where someone doesn't agree with you all the time. Because here's what happens. If you only talk to people that agree with you, you eventually run out of things to talk about. Or you start to talk about people. And we don't need any of the drama. Right? So it's okay to have conversations with people that don't agree with you. It's okay to put yourself in a room where everybody doesn't say yes when you say, here's the thing, right? Now, are there benefits to that? Yes, for sure. You can make a lot of movement when you're in a room with people who agree with you all on the same thing. Okay? But what's your ultimate goal? If your goal in life is to simply surround yourself with people that believe the same exact thing with you as you do, that's cool. That's great. I love that for you. But if you want to grow and change and be better and do better and really get the most out of this life, you are going to have conversations with people that don't agree with you on everything. And there was something that I wrote down when this idea came to me last night. And so I'm double checking my notes to see what I wrote down. right? Okay. So I wrote, I want to be in rooms with people who don't agree with me about everything, because what good am I if I surround myself with only people who agree with me? If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So if you are surrounding yourselves with people that only agree with you on everything, life is probably going to get pretty boring pretty quickly. It's like standing in a room where everything is white. Now, I like white rooms and I like white couches. I won't own them when I have children, right? But there's something about that pop of color, or the contrast between the black and the white. It makes things more beautiful when you can still love someone despite the differences, because their view does not mean that yours cannot exist. They can be there simultaneously, and it doesn't take away from either of you. Think for a moment. If you and your spouse had exactly the same opinion on everything, one of you wouldn't be necessary. Right? Like, you wouldn't need the other one for parenting, because you would already know how the parenting was going to go, because they're going to agree with you on everything. We benefit from the differences and from the disagreements, right? Like, there's a benefit from it. And when you can see the benefit, you open yourself up to a whole lot more. So, I'm going to hop off my soapbox here, but I do want to challenge you. Begin to put yourselves in rooms that make you uncomfortable, because that is where you're going to learn and you're going to grow, and you're going to become a better version of you. And the thing that I love about this, I remember way back in, I think, elementary school, maybe, right? I loved the idea of a debate team. And I remember working on this project, it might have been in high school actually, where we had to write arguments, a persuasive paper essentially, right? Where you had to write arguments on for either side. And there were some people who really hated this exercise. But for me, I loved being able to see the other view, because, yeah, sometimes I may have changed my mind, but oftentimes all it did was strengthen my conviction in whatever it was that I believed. And so, again, it's not that this can't exist because yours exists. It's that they get to exist at the same time, because none of it's a personal attack on you. Really, at the end of the day. So, I'm sending you so much love. I'm off my soapbox. I don't even know if I was on a soapbox today, but it sounded like it, so it is what it is. Anyways, I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye!